Well, we've finally gotten some cold weather here in Florida. I'm out on this trail and I know people love the walk and talk, so here we go, walk and talk. Man, I just put out my video about Replay Guitar Exchange, closing here in the Tampa area at the end of January 2026. And, and then with all the AI stuff coming down the pike, I know I had a guy this morning say, can you talk about AI? And he said he'd had a buddy of his say, hey man, I recorded some new songs, and then proceeded to play him some AI versions of those songs, which he knew the guy hadn't played because he knew the guy had a certain type of vibrato, and the AI did not have this perhaps less than pleasing vibrato. Look, man, AI is, the cat is out of the bag. Pandora's box is open, and closing of music stores and all of this. And here it is, a dreary morning. And, while I could have shot a video in the studio this morning, I thought, man, I really need some clarity that a walk out in the open air, even if it's a slightly cooler day, these walks are ways to clear your head, man. And it's easy on a day like today, where it is dreary, it is bleak. It's not a beautiful sunshiny day, and there's no birds. It's like an eerie silence. It's easy to kind of get wrapped in the doom and gloom. And I know people have accused this channel of purveyors of doom and gloom and all that, but man, it's really not about that. It's really about reality. And, one way that you can help yourself, right, is if you are feeling like it's a little overwhelming and there's a lot going on, then break your cycle. Your cycle might be that you withdraw and maybe get nothing done because you feel the overwhelming weight of the world. And the best thing you can do is just get out and go for a walk. The best thing you can do is go out here and clear your head, because, man, the thing is this. One person can't change the world, as much as they probably told us that when we were a kid. One person does not a world make. We can affect the biggest change on our own lives by what we do each moment. We're just little tiny ants in a giant colony, right? Some of the ants might be running around scurrying and not accomplishing much because they're consumed with fear. So if you're consumed with fear that everything just does not look good, it's very bleak out, and if you're consumed with fear, you're not going to get a whole lot done. And so, I would encourage everybody to, no matter what, man, focus on what you can do each day to better your life. Focus on the one thing that you can change, your attitude. Focus on getting moving. Focus on doing something positive. You know, man, it's real easy to get overwhelmed by everything. And I can't say that the music business or the world is necessarily headed in a positive direction, but I'm headed in a positive direction right now by moving forward. I'm headed in a positive direction by opting to get out here and try and get some oxygen in my lungs and clear my head, man. Maybe by the time I finish this video today, maybe I'll have achieved some clarity, or maybe I'll just feel better about where I'm at. Maybe I'll feel better so that me, the single ant, in this giant world full of ants, single ant could have his little corner of the universe, will be in a better headspace. I'm not going to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off, but I'm moving forward with purpose. I'm not panicked. I'm just slowly getting prepared, right? And I think that's all we can really do in life is keep moving forward, keep striving, you know, and not let all the noise, right? Because look, man, if you want to be real about everything, the forecast for life, and I'm somebody that was born in the 60s, right? Forecast in life in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, and the 90s, and the 2000s, and 2010s, and 2020s. It's never been a good forecast. It's never looked like everything was gonna get better, dude. And we're gonna be a shining beacon of hope, bro. Everyone's gonna, you know, all the children will be singing, and there will be peace throughout the earth. Man, if I woke up one day and that's what was going on, and there was no doom and gloom being forecast on the TV, it's why I just don't turn on the news, man. I don't dwell on things that I can't change. But if I woke up one day and everything was positive and everybody's getting along and people aren't bickering and placed on opposite sides and arguing, I'd be like, what the hell happened? There's no path right now that they're setting up for that to happen, right? There's no peace agreement among everyone on earth. It's just another day, man. And so by doing what I can do to make my day better, to make my experience on this planet better, I can do the things that are going to help me, right? And by doing this right now, I'm helping the people that tune in to these walk and talks, and a lot of them are either getting motivated to get off their tuchus and do something, and some of them are getting motivated, maybe putting in their ear pods or whatever the hell people use these days, and they're listening to this and they're getting motivated to keep moving forward. So I think at this point, it's safe to say as long as I'm able to do it, Walk and Talk is going to be a part of this channel. You know, I'll always play guitar. I'll always do my stationary head, you know, videos where I expound upon things going on in the music business. But I think Walk and Talk's here to stay, bro. And it's here to stay because it's helping people. If there's one good thing that I can do in helping people out there who watch this channel, if I find that something, I'm getting comments that people are saying they love Walk and Talk, and it's getting them motivated, and it's getting them on their journey, and you know, all of this kind of stuff. And dude, I'm just gonna keep on going. I'm gonna keep doing it. I need to, just like the people watching this, gotta keep pushing forward, because it's so easy to let the weight of the world just tear you down, man. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe that's the nefarious plan for why we, you know, what are they, maybe at the end of a news broadcast where they tell a heartwarming story just to wipe the doom and gloom out of your mind for a second. Man, if I can be here for 30 or 40 minutes and do something positive and bring positive energy and help somebody who needs to get off their you know what and do something with their lives, then this is the way that I can help people, and that's an important thing. You know, this is not just for me. It's for me, but it's also helping people out there. And that's, you know, if you want to feel better about your life, help yourself and then help others. There's nothing, a new Corvette is nice, right? I know people out there might, I don't know, man, how many people watching these videos are going out and making that, what do they call that? Midlife crisis car purchase. I've never had a midlife crisis car. I think, you know, most of my career I was always driving either whatever hand-me-down would get passed through the family, or whatever I could scrape up enough money to get. And it was usually a SHIT box. And so it wasn't until later in life, probably when I started touring, that I could actually, you know, I had on paper an income coming in, and I could get a car loan, so I could get just a mid-tier reliable car. So, you know, and look, that was probably at midlife. You look at the average age of a musician, my midlife crisis was just driving something, getting something I could drive that I knew wasn't going to break down on me on the way to the gig. You know, I've played, I remember one time I got hired to play at a very high-end golf club in Nashville, and I was the band leader on this gig, and I was set to, you know, make good money and all that, but driving this piece of junk truck down there into the neighborhood where Vince Gill and all these people lived, right? And just a mile or two away from the club, my truck broke down right in the neighborhood, right in this ritzy neighborhood. And fortunately, a couple of guys from the golf club say, "Hey man, you're playing down there tonight, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Man, my car, you know, needed a jump, or I ran out of gas or something." And they said, "Here, they either pushed me to the side and got me to the venue or brought me a gas can or something. But man, they got me to my gig, and it was a little embarrassing. You know, it's embarrassing when you get raised up into a work situation where you're working with people that have a lot of money or a wealthy neighborhood, and you're having to roll up to go entertain them in let's say less than stellar driving vehicle, right? But that's part of it, man. And as the sandhill cranes fly off in the distance, you know, that's some of the humbling moments that you face as a musician. But did it stop me from playing my butt off that night because I was embarrassed? No, I was really just thankful that they recognized me and found me, 20 minutes maybe before downbeat. Were able to get me there, get my stuff set up, do my gig, and get my check at the end of the night, and subsequently pay everybody in the band that night. So we talk about midlife crisis and people spending money on frivolous things, thinking it's gonna make them feel better, and it's an enjoyable thing. There's nothing knocking against somebody. If I hit the lottery, or if, this channel goes sky high, man, I'd like to own a sports car one day. Who wouldn't, right? But helping people and getting out and helping yourself, well, that's something that you can do, and you don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it. You don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars to volunteer and go play a nursing home, which I've done quite a few times, or go play a children's hospital. Those moments, where you literally might be working for free soda. Those moments are the things that really make you feel better about yourself. And so, doing things, and you can see these birds are flying off out here, and you got kids on a bike, and it's almost like people are gotten off from school today because the weather's gone sideways. I don't know, or maybe I'm just out here early today. So I'm gonna turn around and keep going this way. That way we can keep this vibe flowing. But man, the important thing is not to let life get you down, not become overwhelmed. Always be willing to go out, exercise, and get fresh air, get some clarity, man. Right now, I'm not sure what's going to go down here in Florida. It's, with this huge music store closing and the lack of decent playing gigs and stuff down here. This is, it's not looking great right now, right? And man, I don't let that bother me either. The fact that it's been what, over a year since I played a gig, doesn't really bother me, man. And I know there's a lot of guys that chime in on this channel, and they've done the same thing. They've walked away from the gigs. They've walked away from playing music live. And that's not to say I won't ever do it again. I'm sure there's going to be a situation where I might do it, but For now, if I can help people, that's the one thing, man, about playing music, right? I always thought like playing music as a living, well, I wasn't doing anything to harm people. I wasn't spraying toxic chemicals, or I wasn't ripping people off. I was playing music that brought joy to people, sometimes playing their important events in their life or just important moments. I've had so many people say, "Oh, I met my wife on one of your gigs, and thank you for introducing us," and all that kind of stuff. And man, our goal as musicians is to make people happy. Our goal is to make people dance. Our goal is to make people forget their problems and put a smile on their face. And so, man, it's a noble cause, playing music, but it's also a young man's game. And that's something that I started to realize, especially towards the end of my time in Nashville. I remember going to play this like showcase of like wedding and corporate like bands. And man, the band I was in, man, we were all OGs. We didn't have any backing tracks. All we had was piss and vinegar. And when it was our time to get up and play our showcase, we just got up there and let them fly. And even though they did everything they could to sabotage us, I think when it all was said and done, an old school bunch of guys getting up there, playing their butts off with a singer who can out-sing anybody. And despite our ages, I think we gave those young bastards a run for their money. And it's painfully obvious that the new breed of backing track and sparkly dresses and choreographed dance moves and all that, it all pales in comparison to a real band playing real music for real people. And there's nothing like that, man. I'd rather go see a crappy band with, go up there and just completely bomb than go see a bunch of little twirly, sparkly little douche weasels sounding absolutely perfect because they're using so many backing tracks. And that's truth, Ruth. Getting out here and walking is changing my mindset and realizing that I'm proud that I came from an older generation and I got to experience real music. I got to hear real superstars on stage. I got to see legends like Stevie Ray Vaughan and Elvis and Miles Davis and Michael Brecker and Alan Holdsworth and Edward Van Halen and, Aerosmith and all of these legendary acts, oftentimes not paying more than $14 or $15, sometimes only paying as much as $8 to go see these people. And it was all real. There was no trickery. There was no manipulation. There was no backing tracks. And that's what I strived to be when I got out there. That's what I wanted to give. I wanted to When I was out there playing arenas, I wanted to bring the same level of excitement that I had as a little kid, sitting out in that audience, and the lights go down, and you hear the guitar screaming in the background. I would get on these arena gigs. The lights would go down, and I have my guitar on, and I'd hit a few dive bombs, at the start of the show, and hear the crowd roar. That's what I always strived to be, and be like the people that I worshiped as a kid. And what I worshiped was real. Now, there was real pain involved, and a lot of those people are no longer with us. They gave everything they had of their beings. There was no moment where you could phone it in. And if you did phone it in back then, man, people would say, man, I saw such and such an act, and it was, man, they were hammered or whatever. But man, I'm thankful that I got to live in a time where, even though we know now that things are changing and the world is different, and what's real and what's not real are totally different things now, I'm thankful that I got to experience, real music and real art and real humans making people feel something live. That's what it's all about. And as I go along this trail, man, I'm almost in that clarity moment where, between the cold and my talking and almost falling there, I'm almost like lightheaded. But it's something that my body and mind needed right now. And I'm thankful that I get to do this. I'm thankful that I have this channel and this avenue where I can share these moments of clarity. And while I may be despondent in seeing where things are headed, and seeing the world that is unfolding, and it's always seemingly been unfolding in a negative direction, I can be thankful for what I did get to experience, and the reality that I was able to live in, bask in, and enjoy for many, many years. Because, let's face it, younger generations, they're never going to know what we experienced and what we lived through. Now, they will have their own challenges, they will have their own experiences, and they will have to learn to be thankful for them. Just as I am learning on this walk, be thankful for what I did get to experience. And so we're out on this trail. We're doing this walk together. And I hope that these moments of clarity, these moments of oxygen-derived clarity, not from the end of a left-handed cigarette or from the bottom of a glass, but from just getting out and getting a little extra oxygen. These moments, my friends, are what we all should strive for and live for each day. And I know not every day we can get out here and do this. I can't put out a walk and talk every day. I'd probably clear out half my channel. But what I will do is I will continue on this path, seeking clarity, seeking knowledge, and sharing this motivation with everybody that watches this channel. because I am super thankful for you, and I'm super thankful that I'm able to come out here and do this. Thank you so much for watching.